It's 9 p.m. and my storage unit is about to close. I feel a growing sense of dread, and I check my backpack, my pants pockets, my jacket pockets, making sure I have the essentials. I visit the restroom, then I slip out the front gate, heading south on Sawtell toward Venice Boulevard, where I get on the first bus of the first leg of a long night of riding the bus. And each night I would find myself looking up at the windows of the apartment buildings surrounding me, and I'd see blue flickering lights from TVs. I'd see shadows against the closed blinds as people moved from room to room. And it was heart-wrenching for me. Why do all these people get to be safe and inside and not me? And at 56 years old, how is it possible that I have no home and nowhere to go? But I have to choke back all that pain because I have a whole night of surviving to do, and I can't do it with tears in my eyes. My name is Susan Kolkowitz, and I'm a CSH Speak Up advocate. And 6 years ago, that was my reality. Before experiencing homelessness, I'd been successful. I worked a six-figure job. I had a lovely place on the west side and a sapphire blue Acura. But after 3 years of domestic violence, everything changed. He'd already taken all my money, my jewelry, along with the sense of myself as a capable, valued person. And when he was taken into police custody, I was left homeless. I was left alone and outside, trying to figure out how to survive. I was overwhelmed and needed help. The only benefit program I'd ever heard of was food stamps. So I Googled it and found that I could get them from the Department of Public Social Services, or DPSS as it's known. And I went there, and the same day I left with today's version of food stamps, or electronic benefits transfer, EBT card. 4 weeks later, general relief kicked in, and together it wasn't very much, but it took the edge off the desperation of my situation. Then I was referred by DPSS to the Edelman Westside Mental Health Center. I didn't realize, I guess, how traumatized I'd been because I'd been so focused on just surviving. I was assigned a case manager, Sarah, who was direct but warm, and she was confident that finding a home for me was doable. I would walk out of my visits with her a little bit stronger, a little more like Susan. And through her, I began seeing a psychiatrist and started attending a weekly Seeking Safety group for domestic violence survivors. And she found me an emergency bed at Daybreak Shelter in Santa Monica. It only lasted for 14 days, but the services that I received sustained me through the rest of my homelessness. So by November, I'd been living outside for 365 days. I was considered chronically homeless, and I was finally eligible for housing assistance, and I was accepted into Daybreak's interim housing shelter. And I felt so incredibly grateful to have a safe place to sleep every night. Well, I stayed at Daybreak for almost 5 months, and then on March 15th, 2015, I took everything out of my storage unit and moved into permanent supportive housing, my new home. Permanent supportive housing was where I could start to reclaim the pieces of my life, where I again started to feel confident and capable, and like a person who contributes to the world. I'm now a certified mental health advocate. I'm an advocate with the Domestic Violence Homeless Services Coalition, and I'm employed by the Downtown Women's Center. I have found that the things that caused me the most pain and the most shame became, through advocacy, the most shame reducing and healing. And that allows me to focus on helping those still outside, those still suffering, still waiting. Please continue to support and fight for programs like permanent supportive housing and new solutions like rapid rehousing for domestic violence survivors. I'm here as proof that they work, that they lift people up, that they turn lives around. These programs provide the foundation for people to not only survive the trauma they've experienced, but to heal, to connect, and to move on. Thank you.